There has been much studies done when it comes to heart rate variability. And I don't know if I remember the research correctly, that there is well-documented research that they show pre-adjustment and post-adjustments. If you can give us some of your knowledge and wisdom about that, that would be awesome too.
That's a great example of how nociception affects the nervous system without creating any pain sensation, because heart rate variability, and if we can talk about cardiovascular system in general, digestive system in general, let's talk about our most basic vital functions. You know, our breathing, the fact that our heart beats, the fact that we can digest food. These are our basic functions, or our visceral functions, our vital functions. Those are all controlled by the brainstem, right? And the brainstem is essentially just an extension of the spinal cord. And the spinal cord, when we talk about, you know, nociception being perceived by the CNS, these are reflexes. At the spinal cord level, if an area is not moving well, we have a reflex that will cause a muscle contraction to protect that area that's not moving. Well, in the same way we have these reflexes at the spinal cord, we have them at the brainstem as well. Now, because we've gone higher up in the neuraxis of our central nervous system, we still have reflexes at the brainstem level, except they become a little more complex. So heart rate variability, breathing in general, blood pressure, digestion, all of these are controlled by the brainstem. So if the person is in a nociceptive state, if the nervous system has perceived a potential for harm, it will signal these brainstem areas, because not knowing what's going on. So we've clipped off the cortex. I don't know what's going on, but I'm in a nociceptive state. I will have a reflex to protect myself by increasing my heart rate, increasing my breathing, slowing down my digestion because it's not important at the time, in order for me to survive. So we can measure things like heart rate variability. We can measure things like respiration. You know, we don't even need the high technology. We can just take a person's pulse. We can monitor their respiration rate. We can take their blood pressure, and that gives us an intimate link, intimate insight into the function of their brainstem and if they're in a nociceptive state or not. What's beautiful about chiropractic and the HRV studies that you're citing is we can do pre and post checks very, very simply. We can take somebody's blood pressure, adjust them, and then take their blood pressure again right after. And we can have an idea if our intervention had an impact on their brainstem just through that mechanism. Now, to be fair, we know that there's a therapeutic quality to interacting with the patient, having them hear our soothing voice, having them lie down on our table and meet our wonderful receptionist. So we do have to take into account the entire clinical encounter to be able to say, well, this is what happened to this patient. So we can't, from a pure scientific point of view, we can't say, well, it's the adjustment that caused the reduction in blood pressure. And that's where science comes in. And that's why science is important, because we can tease out all these different variables as best as we can to get a clear answer.